Thanks, Mayor. So I'm in support of the what of this program. I think this program has a lot of merit. I support homeowners knowing and understanding, the energy usage of their home and the potential improvement and efficiencies. And so sellers and buyers know the cost. I do want to point out that a home inspection is actually on the buyer and not the seller, and it's required because usually by the financer, and you don't have to get it. It's not mandatory unless you're trying to finance. What I don't support is the mandatory requirement aspect of it. I would really like to see this, well, actually, all the way around, I'd like to see it be more about an incentive and not a mandate, but since that's the ordinance in front of us, I don't support a mandatory requirement for essentially all homeowners to obtain an audit at their own cost. I would like to see it voluntary. I do think the information is really key and it's really critical for people to make decisions, but mandating it and then writing letters and then fining them if they don't. So, Mr. Sorty, I know you said, generally the other municipalities have said, well, you send them a letter and they kind of get in line. Well, I think it's great, and I think with education and outreach, we might be able to convince people to participate voluntarily. So, Councilor Mon, the people from whom you bought your home did it voluntarily. They weren't required to do it, and they did what they could, and that's great. But they weren't mandated to do it. I also don't think it's good governance to implement a program that has no funding. And I know Director Seidel said he didn't think there would be a budget impact, but I just believe there will. I've been around administration and operations long enough to know that it will cost time and effort. And when we get down the road and someone absolutely refuses to pay the fine, that even in the thing, it's like, well, and if they wait too long, then they get another $500 fine. So now they owe the city $1,000. What are we actually going to do as a city? Are we going after people? Are we going to put a lien on their house? What do we really want to do with this? That doesn't seem like the friendly, really nice, like, hey, wouldn't this be great information to have about your house? Now we've turned into, and you owe us $1,000 because you didn't do the thing. So I don't like the approach. I very much like the what. I don't like the how. How are we implementing this? And because it feels like an unfunded mandate to me, implementing a program that we actually don't have any money for, even if we postpone till April of 23, we won't have a new budget before then either. So if this is something we're really committed to, and we as a city, we should put it in the budget, and the next budget cycle is actually next July. And let's put some money in the budget and put some money and support and teeth behind this for real, instead of making an ordinance now and not funding it. I just have too many questions to support it as written right now. I do have an amendment that I would propose if this is the appropriate time, but so.
Whenever you're speaking or any counselor speaking, they're more than welcome to move an amendment. It will take a second and deliberate the amendment and take a vote on it.
Okay, so I would move to amend the ordinance so that the word must in section 9.04.030.1 and in section 9.04.030.2 is replaced with the word should instead of must. That would basically leave the whole program intact, but make it voluntary as opposed to mandatory.
So let's slow down. That's the amendment. You're now